And the electrical side, I'm not an electrician, it's just smoke and mirrors, black magic to me. This is nice because I've got a flat level sight, which is awesome for doing maintenance, for safety and cleanliness, and just, it's nicer.
Ooh, this is me underneath the trailer. I've not been thrown in the dog box and have to sleep here.
Good morning, this is a second video for the bearings and brakes replacement on the Gator X. We're in Perth, as you know, for quite a while now due to Lee's health issues. We're on top of that and we're getting rid of the maintenance as we need. Bye! People come in and go, and it's Sunday morning, it's beautiful. My brakes are worn. I can't get it to the dealer in the time frame that we need, so we're going to change the backing plates, which are the plates which hold the springs, the adjustment, your park brake lever and your forward and rear brake shoes. It's a really simple job. It's nuts and bolts, a little bit of electrical work. It's something that Leanne and I are well capable of doing, so we're going to do that. So we're not going to make it a definitive how-to. I know what I know because of my experience fixing aeroplanes, and we need to do it before we head off in, how long is it now, Lee?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. Awesome. So Lee's going to film a little bits of the important stuff, but it really is basically a nut and bolt job, and I'll give you a quick rundown. So get the tyre off, obviously safety first, make sure it's all supported, you got your chocks in, park brake, all the rest of the good stuff, so you don't hurt yourself or anyone else or damage the van. So it's basically wheel off, hub off, bearings off. I've just replaced those. You may or may not have seen that video, and Lee will put a funky link down there somewhere or in the description. And then the backing plate is held on by 5 cone lock nuts. They're not nylocks on account of the heat, so I've got a whole new batch of those. They're torqued up. Take them off, snip the electrical wire, disconnect the park brake, and we'll adjust the little adjustment wheel inside. I've never done it before, just watch a YouTube video. As per Cruisemaster, we're going to make sure that our handbrakes are adjusted properly. The electrical side of things I'm not an expert on. I've got the soldering gear, we'll have a crack at that. If not, we'll go and get a crimper and we'll just do some butt joints. There you go. Tyres off, cotter pins out, split pin, nuts off. So we're going to retain obviously the nut, the cap, it's cap decorative. Keep the spacer, and I've repacked these, changed some brand new bearings and racers. I did that on the last video. Here we go, here's my lovely outer race. So I'm going to wrap that in cloth. I'm going to repack that again just to make sure that I did a proper job. So all I do is make sure that all the bearings are kept as clean and tidy as possible. You don't want any sand or grit in it because it's just going around, it's going to work as an abrasive. Mind your fingers, there you go. Oh, there you go, that's off. But that segment, I'll grease it up. That's the backing plate here that you can see. That's my spindle where the nut and the spacer goes. These are worn. These are the forward and trailing shoes. So I've deemed them to be very, very worn. So you've got the little adjuster to adjust your shoes. You've got these springs that need replacing. The magnet is no good. You've got 4 little witness holes on the magnet. I've got 2 that are showing and 2 that are worn down, so the magnet had to be changed. So just economically for me, it's easier to change this whole backing plate. That's the backing plate. Park brake adjustment measurement mechanism there, beg your pardon, and the 5 cone lock nuts and bolts there. So clean this grease off, cut my electrical, disconnect the park brake cable. That is the old backing plate from Cruisemaster. A couple of mil on them, maybe 2, 1.5 is the limit. Rightio, this is the brand new backing plate from Cruisemaster, 12 inch. You can see I've got 4 clear witness holes, as you would expect, it's brand new. So everything's new, your adjuster, your springs. So if you were changing just the leading and trailing shoes. Perhaps you change the springs. If you're going to do that, to my mind, and I priced it all up on the Cruisemaster website, there's a few bucks in it. But you get all brand new springs. All your spring tensions are going to be as per brand new. The magnets all proper, not scored. That one's pretty naff. Quick one, Cruisemaster brakes, they're handed. So make sure, rookie mistake, don't be putting it all back together, rolling around a week later and going, or you'd probably notice that. Anyway, they're handed. So we've cleaned it up, had a bit of a look. There is a little bit of scoring where the bearing seats. I've got brand new nuts and bolts, 3/8 UNF cone locks. You probably get them at any nut and bolt shop, but I was on the phone to Cruisemaster anyway, and the lovely people there put some brand new ones in a package for me, and they turned up within about a week. Brand new hardware, torque these all up. From memory, I think they go to 33 Newton meters. I'll attach the cable, get that all back, and then basically it's make sure my grease is right, clean it all up, bolt, bolt, bolt. We should be done in about half an hour. Right, let's crack on with this. Make sure all those surfaces are covered with a bit of grease. I'll just make sure there's some in here, and I'll re-grease my outer bearing. I showed you that on the last one. And we'll bolt this hub back on, and then the wheel, and this side is done, which is a great job. I've been waiting to do this for a while. Got the magpies around, the Australian magpies are around. I've been feeding them because I like me birds. And now they're like, hey, where's second breakfast? Just grease that. Don't forget, basically don't forget. Don't just put your bearing on, wham the nut on. You have to put that spacer on. Okay, that's obviously seated the bearings, but that's way too tight. I don't want to be running that. If you go too tight, they'll say you're prematurely wearing your bearings, or you wear them too much. If you've got too much preload on them, compression, and obviously if they're too slack, then you're going to have what's end float, and that's that. You don't want that. If you got a comment on that, chuck it down below. Makes no odds to me. I don't take offence to just about anything. Rightio, we're starting the other side, so basic, wheel off, hub off, all that other good stuff. So this is just a repetition of what we did before. Right, this is underneath my van. This is the passenger side. You can see the new backing plate and the park brake adjustment lever there. I'm running the cable through all the way forward, get that realigned. Done that on the driver's side, all the way through, and the runs obviously all the way up to the A-frame, which is in the center of the screen. That's getting done. I didn't show you, there's a ton of resourcing out there, but when you put your new brakes on, you need to adjust them. So you jack the wheel, you take out this little bung, plastic bung, and there's a little wheel inside, a tooth wheel, and I'll show you that on the old ones. You turn the wheel whichever way until the wheel locks up, and then you back it up an appropriate amount so you've got just slight dragging. For my Cruisemaster suspension, that's between 7, 10, 12, somewhere around there. So it's not a definitive. That's the Cruisemaster ATX suspension, and it's pretty beaten up because of the dirt roads we've done. But I'll take you out now and I'll show you them on the old drum brakes. That's the backing plate. Left hand side, remember they're handed. That's the little slot with the plastic cover removed. You can buy one of these tools. You can get them from anywhere. A screwdriver will do. You just slot that in there and that gets on the little wheel. So from this side, which is the inside, magnet, forward edge, trailing edge, park brake mechanism, that is the screw. And by putting in your special tool, see if I can do it khaki-handed. Anyway, probably not. There you go, bing, bing, bing. By putting this in, levering on these teeth one way or the other, you move this. So as you turn that, you can extend it or shorten it. If you extend it all the way out, these brakes lock on, yeah? So that's the little mechanism inside for anyone that hasn't pulled theirs apart yet. That's what you see on the inside. That's your park brake actuation lever. That's your electrics. And this is on the Cruisemaster braking system. This is for a Bowden cable. Here we go, we're continuing on with the backing plates replacement. So I've adjusted the park brake, I've adjusted the wheels, I've spun them and make sure that the drums are not rubbing, it's, you know, correctly adjusted. So now what I'm doing is I'm fitted some Deutz plugs, which are anti-vibration. They're good for in those hostile environments underneath my caravan. I've just started putting the crimps in the plugs, and once I get one all set up, I'll show you what I've done. I'm much more confident in doing a mechanical crimp, put it all together, and I'll live with that and I'll see how it goes. Righto, the Zeus plug is right in the middle of the picture there. I haven't connected up, I'm just gonna plug that in the middle. I just want to let you see that's where the Deutz plug is. We're going to plug it in and then connect the car jack there and make sure that when I apply the brakes in the car that the trailer brakes operate. Good morning, it's Thursday morning. I started the brakes on Sunday morning. Did a few hours then, Monday, Tuesday. That's our magpies. I've started feeding them. They've got 2 young'uns, so they come around the van every morning, have a bit of a sing-song. I give them some food. I digress. Part of my attention deficit thing. That's the Gator X. Brand new backing plates, brand new bearings, so we're already on the 2nd of August. So we've got about 5 weeks to go only, I think. And we'll start heading back across the country. But that's the brakes done, so we're all in prep. I checked them out yesterday and put the foot on the brake. No power to the Tow Pro Elite, so back underneath, check the Deutz plugs. We checked it out electrically. The guy that did it, and that'll be me, I know I didn't. That's how I think. I know what the problem was. I didn't assemble the Deutz plugs properly. The pins weren't all the way through, so I was getting like a little bit of contact, but the Tow Pro Elite by Red Arc, which has been fantastic, has just gone, no, don't like that, sent me some signals that all led to, you've got a bad connection. So went through that, did that. That's the big jobs done on the Gator. We're really pumped. 5 weeks and we'll be heading off back across the country for more adventures. So if you're one of our long-time subscribers, thank you very much. I know the videos have been rather sparse, but there's really nothing going on and we don't want to just put content out that's just, really blah. So from us, Leanne and Robert, Wander and Move, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. You got any questions? I like hearing from people, especially technical stuff. I'll have a bit of a crack at that. If you like it, that's great. Consider subscribing, and until we see you out on the road, take care.